We want to thank everybody for joining us here today. We're going to spend some time talking about the 35th annual Hudson Hot Air Affair today. The theme for this year's event is Rockin' with the Coldies. So I'm here today as the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Outside of the Hot Air Affair, though, I'm just John Knutson, an old retired guy. So with me today, we've got Carla Timmerman and we've got Cindy Brown Bauer. Glad to have you ladies here.
Thank you, John.
The event, which is always held the first full weekend in February, this year is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And our event this year is sponsored again by Wisconsin Credit Union. We really appreciate the sponsorship by Wisconsin. We couldn't hold the wonderful event that it is without sponsorship financially, so thank you, Wisconsin Credit Union. As one of the 5 original founders, along with Evie Nurbin, Linda White, Carla Timmerman, and Rose Akins, my responsibilities for Hot Air Affair are generally being the voice of the event. So I do the pilot's reception, I do some of the pre-events and different things like that. I've always said I don't have a lot of talent, but I can talk, so I'll do that. I have one other duty, and that's running the smooshboarding event, and we'll talk about smooshboarding a little bit later. So, Carla, give me a little bit of your history and involvement. I know you're one of the 5 founders with myself and Evie and Linda and Rose, and tell me what your job has evolved into today.
Today, I am the treasurer of the event and also help with some of the pilot coordination, sponsor activities. So it's in getting the hotels lined up for the pilots.
Back when we first started, that was kind of your main duty, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Figuring out the logistics of housing, yeah.
Yes. So that's, and it's been, with the Linda and Evie and you continuing to be involved with each year. The committee becomes more of a family than a committee.
It is. The reality is, and I know because I'm not as active as I used to be, but Evie Nurbin, yourself, and Linda White really still do the lion's share of the work. So thank you for everything you do. Cindy, when did you get involved with Hot Air Affair?
Well, I got started when I started working at RPG in 1993.
I think I know the guy.
I think I know the guy that used to be the boss there. So I helped with smooshboarding a lot. I attended the committee meetings, and I kind of suggested way back when that we do a theme every year to kind of tie in being able to do costumes and that sort of thing. And
so when did we start the themes?
Oh, I think the 10th year, I think, was our first major theme.
You remember what that was?
Family Roundup.
That was cowboy
theme, yes.
I remember wearing a long duster, and I actually had the Mexican sombrero that I used as a cowboy hat, and I had to tie the string to the sides to bring it up to make it look like a cowboy hat, but that was kind of fun.
Yeah, you're not just the king of rock and roll, you're kind of the king of the theme costumes every year.
I'm something different every year.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was active on the committee till 2014.
Yeah, well, you still kind of stay involved. I know we ask you to do a lot of stuff with Minuteman, and we really appreciate Pete Keski and Minuteman's help with everything you do for the Hot Air Affair for that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But the Hot Air Affair isn't just those 3 days. There's a lot of events pre-event, and there's 3 full days of events. But Carla, let's talk a little bit about some of the pre-events. What are things that happen before February 2nd?
Okay, well, we continue with the Buena Vista Stroll in the Park, where the lights down in Lakefront Park are staying lit through February 9th this year.
We got to say Mary Claire from
thank
the
you.
Hudson Chamber and her group and committee have done a fantastic job at the park. If you haven't seen the lights in Lakefront Park, you're missing something. You got to go see them.
Yep. And this Saturday at from 9 to 11 a.m. at Dick's Bar and Grill, there'll be breakfast crafts for the kids. So that's always a fun one. Back when the grandkids were little, we would go to that. Now they're old and So go there. And then this is something new that'll be happening this year down at the Phipps Center. It's The Show Must Go On, a backstage escape game.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I've not done an escape room, so, and that you can go to thephips.org to get more information on. And then on Saturday, January 27th from 6 to 9:30, we'll be Rockin with Coldies Taste of Hot Air Affair.
That's sponsored by the Lions.
By the Lions, the Hudson Lions Club, and that will be held out at White Eagle Golf Club. And if you go to hudsonhotairaffair.com, you can get ticket information on that. That is a ticketed event. Most of the events are free. And then we're also having canvas party painting classes. I believe there's 3 different classes. Some are full, but Audrey Martin will be doing a painting of Chilly Willy.
That sounds like a penguin.
That is a penguin,
Okay.
a really cute penguin. And then at Camp St. Croix on Thursday, the 25th, there will be a dance taking place.
Wonderful.
So lots of fun events.
Yeah, and that's all before the
All
start
before
on,
the
on
weekend.
Friday night. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, every year we add new events to keep things fun and interesting. And last year we started a Bloody Mary crawl. So the restaurants and bars would work together to get a signature drink and then vote it on for who wins the prize. This year it's a little different. This year it's going to be called Sippin' the Hotties. And you can go to the bars and restaurants and get hot drinks. I know when we did trivia night for the Hot Air Affair last weekend, the Ziggy's bar had cinnamon bun was their signature hot drink. So it was spiced, for adult beverages, spiced up coffee that smelled fabulous and I'm sure was great. Some of the other people involved are going to be Bennett's Chop and Rail House, Big Guy's Barbecue Roadhouse, Black Rooster Bistro, Buddy's Cafe, Dick's Bar and Grill, Grand Fete, Keys Cafe, Bakery and Bar, Lucky Guys Distillery, Post American Eatery, Smoky Treats Barbecue, the Cellar Wines, Spirits, and Tonka Vodka. They're all listed in the Hot Air Affair brochures and online, so please take a look at it. And if you want to have a little fun with friends, go out and try a Sippin' the Hotties event this year. So this year, the Hot Air Affair weekend really kicks off on Friday night. So Cindy, tell me a little bit about what happens Friday night.
Well, Friday night is the parade downtown. It's, I believe, noted as the shortest parade because it's only a few blocks long, but we get great attendance on that.
I would estimate that crowds on nice weather days have been 4,000 to 5,000 people. They'll be stacked up 20 deep on both sides of the road. And like Cindy said, it's a short, we start at the Wisconsin parking lot and we come down 2nd Street and we take a right and go past Dick's Bar to Lakefront Park area.
Yeah.
But Torchlight Parade's fabulous for Friday night.
Yeah, and that's a really great time for parade participants to utilize the theme of the year in do costumes, and we've got a lot of sponsors and pilots that participate in the theme in do costumes.
Now, we do encourage them to dress up too. They can win prizes at the pilot's reception, and so they really get into it, and they win prizes worth well under $10. But no, that's not true. Actually, the prizes are usually gift certificates of $25 or more, so it's kind of nice. But it's nice to see everybody dressing up.
Yep, and Friday is obviously a big push for the business community for doing the Eat, Shop, and Play, and as well as the Sippin' with the Hotties beverage crawl. We do a program with the schools, with the pilots, which is very informational and exciting for the students.
You know, the kids love that too. What the pilots will do, the pilots are fabulous with the kids, and they'll actually partially cold inflate an envelope or the balloon and let the kids all go inside the envelope. And I've seen class pictures taken inside of balloons that are just fabulous.
Yeah.
So it's really well done.
Yeah.
And to top off the night after the parade down in Lakefront Park, we have the fireworks display. So that's kind of Friday night in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have a lot of popular events. What we realized as a committee from the very beginning is that hot air ballooning is weather dependent. So if the weather is not cooperating, what are we going to do to keep all those people? Because we'd have thousands of people there wondering what can we do. So we've had a tremendous amount of events. Carla, why don't you just run through some of the normal year-to-year events that we have?
Yep. What we have inside EP Rock School, so you can come in and get warm after the balloons have launched. We have the Marketplace and Crafts Fair inside. So there'll be a craft sale along with hot beverages and food,
yeah.
available to purchase. And those are manned by different nonprofit groups.
Yeah, and we probably have, I don't know, I would guess there's probably 40 or 50 vendors at the craft fair.
Close to, yeah.
It's just a fabulous craft fair.
Yeah.
There's artisans. Lana Schoberg with Showcase Hats is always very popular. You see people wearing here. We've got one of her hats here on display, but I think I've got 5 or 6 of Lana's hats now, and my kids and grandkids all have them too. But the vendors are fabulous.
Mm-hmm. And then also this year, since Groundhog's Day is February 2nd, we're going to be doing a Groundhog Weekend Dig sponsored by Angel's Pet World, and that'll be held down in Lakefront Park.
That's always fun. The kids like to unearth the little stuffed animals and other toys and treasures and stuff. So Angel Dorati from Angel's Pet World does a fabulous job with that, so we appreciate her help.
Sponsor. And then, of course, Saturday afternoon, the World Championship Smooshboarding event. Now, is it international this year?
Well, it's worldwide. I mean, in fact, we may change the name to the Cosmos, Smooshboard Championship, because if a group of aliens want to come with a team, we're open to that.
Okay.
So smooshboarding. What is smooshboarding? 4 people, 2 skis or boards. So the 4 people are strapped to the boards, and I create a little bit of an obstacle course with hazard cones out on the snow, and they race. And if you've never seen it, it is hilarious. I always tell people, for $10 in registration, you can win prizes worth well under $10. And that's not really true. I actually looked at the bags this year, and each of these prize bags, and we do 8 of them. So there's 4 prize winners, and there's 4 best of costume. And they're probably about $35 to $40 a bag with stuff in there. So it's actually quite profitable to be a smooshboarder. So if you and 3 of your friends can endure a little humiliation from the MC and have any athletic ability whatsoever, you can try to win the race. And if you have no athletic ability, as many of the registrants possess, no ability, they can win the best of costume. So you can win prizes. Smooshboarding is fun. We're taking teams. Read the brochures, the website, or whatever. Get a hold of me if you want to get 4 people together to smooshboard this year. What else have we got?
We also have the Hudson Rotary Club doing the St. Croix River Dunk.
I've done that one year.
Ooh, okay.
That's chilly.
I'm staying away from that one. And along with that, on Saturday down in Lakefront Park will be the Fat Tire Balloon Race, or bike race.
Bike race.
Yeah.
Fat Tire balloons. I've never heard of Fat Tire balloons.
I haven't either till now.
The Fat Tire bike racing is pretty popular, so that's kind of a fun
event.
event.
So that'll be a fun event for them. And then we do a raffle ticket for a prize drop. And each year we choose a local group to benefit. And this year it will be the Hudson Grocery Cooperative.
The Hudson Grocery Cooperative just moved into the very nice building that used to be Fresh and Natural. And so they're up and running. I happen to be a co-op member, and so many of the Hudsonites are. It's great to see a local entity like that take off. So that's pretty cool. The raffle tickets for the prize drop are for sale, and you can win, think they're cash prizes for
Yes.
that. And that's going to take place right after smooshboarding. So we start at 1 o'clock for smooshboarding, gets over about 2 o'clock, and then they do that prize drop. So that's nice. And then I think we're doing ice fishing again, aren't we?
Ice fishing on Sunday at Perch Lake.
Perch Lake.
Yes,
That's always fun. I
yes.
think they've done it at Lake Malibu before, but Perch Lake is a good venue for
Yes,
that.
and-
So what else? Anything else?
Well, the Masonic Lodge has been doing a pancake breakfast for a good
Years,
number of
yeah,
years.
yep.
So that event is back. The Groundhogs. Grand Fed is doing a cookie class. Do
Okay.
you want to learn how to decorate cookies, John?
No. But
Okay.
I will eat
Cindy,
cookies.
you will
I-
eat the
yeah,
okay, okay. The Octagon House is open for tours. They're usually closed in the winter, but they do open this weekend. Beanbag tournament, the smooshboard, the drop. Bingo fundraiser for the Hudson Boosters is held up at the Village Inn in Stillwater. And if you've ever wanted to know how you can become more involved with Hudson Hot Air Affair.
Well, who wouldn't?
Yeah, who
right?
wouldn't? We're having a balloon crew school.
Oh, that would be neat.
And that will be
yeah.
at the EP Rock School grounds. And come and you can learn how to crew. And that's at 2:15. And there's a possible launch at 3. So you'll be able to put that new knowledge right to work.
Nice. Well, and again, when Carla talks about being a crew member with a hot air balloon is going to help get the materials out and onto the launch field. They're going to inflate the balloon, and then after the balloon ascends, you're going to become part of the chase crew.
Correct.
And you're going to go track that balloon and end up taking the balloon down, packing it back up.
Yep.
I know a lot of crew people that just love working with the pilots and being crew members. So yeah, if you want to get an opportunity to get involved with hot air ballooning and help out a little bit, that'd be a great event to
Yes.
attend.
And you can, you don't need to, but you can sign up at the HudsonHotAirAffair.com,
Terrific.
our website. And then on Sunday, if you're wanting to go out for breakfast, go up to Big Guys and they'll have breakfast being served.
The restaurants do a fabulous job around the Hot Air Affair because they know 5, 10, 15,000 people are kind of coming in and out. So good opportunity for the restaurants, and they don't disappoint. So there's so many things that are all outlined in the brochures and on the website and things. So take a look at that. The website is www.hudsonhotairaffair.com, and it has all the information you'd want. Let's talk a little bit about the balloons and balloon launches, which the event is really known for. So Carla, how many balloons will we see this year?
Once again, we'll have about 30 balloons.
Okay. Now, I do remember a year back in the early years, we actually, the highest number of balloons we ever had, people ask us this question once in a while, was 56.
Yes.
But we found out quickly that the
Yes.
56 was a little too many for the launch field.
yeah.
And so in the interest of safety and spectator appreciation to be able to walk around better, we trimmed that down. So
Yes.
30 to 35 balloons is fantastic
It
if
is.
they fly.
And
And being weather dependent,
Yeah.
you know, some launches are called pilot's discretion. So sometimes maybe only 5 or 10 will go off if the winds are a little bit higher that day.
Right.
But 30 to 35 is great. Are there any special balloons we might see this year?
Well, this year, the Montgolfier balloon will be back, along with a themed balloon is the Piano Man,
Oh,
the
nice.
balloon that has like a keyboard
Yes.
on it. So
I
that'll be fun
remember
to
seeing
see.
that, yep.
And one special one is called Daddy's Girl.
Never heard of it.
And
What's that
it's
one?
new. It was just inaugural flight this summer.
Wow, terrific.
That one is piloted by Sonia Bellegarde.
Okay.
And
Doesn't
Sonia's
she have some history?
She does. Sonia's dad, Terry Hendrickson from Dunseith, North Dakota, was here the first year flying the International Peace Garden balloon.
That's a big
and
balloon.
I was able to ride in that one.
Wow.
So it's fun to see Sonia coming back, and along with Sonia, her daughter. So that'll be the third generation
Wow.
pilot coming back.
Now, the Montgolfier balloon is a historic balloon.
Yes.
The
A replica.
local guy, David, and his wife, Dave and Sue Johnson, built that balloon.
Right.
And it flies under the Whitaker Balloon Port. And I've flown in that balloon. And it's a recreation of the Montgolfier brothers from France, which was the first hot air balloon that had people in the balloon back in the 1800s. So a lot of history with the Montgolfier balloon. It's absolutely a beautiful balloon with blue and gold trim and red, and it's just a fabulous balloon to see. So that's pretty neat. Well, what days and times are the balloon launches? Because that's what most
Sure.
people want to know is
Yes.
when do the balloons take off?
The balloons are scheduled to take off on Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7:35, and that's because it's a half hour after sunrise, I believe it's about.
Yeah.
And then Saturday afternoon
Yep.
at 3. And as you've talked about, all the balloon launches are weather dependent.
Yes.
We need to have not too much wind, but we have to have some wind. I remember one year they launched, the balloon I was in that year launched at this side of VP Rock School. We went up and over and came down on the other side of the school, and the chase crew just walked over, and we inflated, went up high enough again, so they just dragged us back to where we started from.
I remember that year because a business partner of mine, J.W. Matheson, flew in our balloon that year for Twin City Orthopedics and Catalyst. And they call it box winds, where the
Yes.
balloon flies up, goes a little bit, comes down, comes back, and lands where it took off. Very unusual, but we had that happen one year.
Unusual here, commonplace in Albuquerque.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I suppose that's because of the mountains and
Yeah.
the wind
Yep.
patterns.
Yep.
So box winds, they call that. But yeah, that is unusual.
Yep.
More often than not, the balloons tend to fly northwest from here. But we've had them, 35 years into it
Yeah.
now. We've had them fly in every direction you can
Yep.
imagine. We've had them fly over the St. Croix River, of course, and we've had them fly south toward Prescott and north towards Stillwater and east, and so it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So there's one other event that's really fabulous to attend for anybody that wants to see something spectacular. It's called the Moon Glow. Cindy, can you talk a little bit about what a moon glow is?
Sure. It takes place after dark, where they inflate the balloons and spray the fire into them to make them glow. It is really quite a sight. And if the weather is too dangerous to inflate the balloons, then they will do a field of fire where you can go up and you can speak with the pilots, and they will blast their flames
you
of
up.
fire.
Yeah, it's amazing. It can be very cold out, and when they burn the propane with their burners, you just feel that rush of heat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, it should be noted too that the balloons for the moon glow are tethered to the ground and are stationary, but to be able to see the envelopes inflate, and they actually sequentially will inflate and burn, and they look like Chinese lanterns. And they're just, if you haven't been to the moon glow, that's an event I'd highly encourage you to bring people to see, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if people have questions about the event, Carla, what's the best thing to do to look for information or answers?
Best thing is, once again, go to our website, www.hudsonhotairaffair.com. Like us and follow us on Facebook.
Sure.
Because we will be putting posts there as to if we're flying or not, if the weather is maybe. Sometimes we can't make the decision till we are on the launch field,
Right.
and can set off pie ball, see what direction the wind's going, and not only the winds on the ground, but the winds aloft where the pilots will be flying.
Well, that's what people need to understand, is that the winds at 100 feet may be dramatically different than 200 or 300 or 1,000.
Yeah.
And so it's the pilots are always very safe. The one thing I know about the pilots at the Hot Air Affair, safety is the main concern. Again, oftentimes they will announce that it's pilot discretion.
Correct.
And that will allow the pilots that have been flying for 30 years, who have flown in almost everything, that feel it's fine for them to go, they can. But the pilots that are new to the event, they maybe only have a couple of years experience, like you said, kids and grandkids, so it's second and third generation pilots, they may not fly just because of their experience level and stuff. So, but the important thing is that they can find that information. I know that's one of the things we've improved upon dramatically over the years, was getting that information out. But people need to understand also, like you said, we sometimes can only make the decision within a half hour of them flying or so. And so we have to check out what the winds are, the winds aloft and stuff, and the pilots do that. The balloon meister will hold a meeting and get all the pilots educated on the wind. They make a decision. So, but I do that all the time. I wake up and I immediately turn on the news, turn on a radio, and check the website just to be safe. And very often it'll say they're flying today or they're not flying today, or that it's pilot discretion. And it gives you the idea of, should I dress up and go in or not?
Yeah.
Because some people, again, they come from the Twin Cities, and some people come from only 5 minutes away. So we do our best to inform everybody, but check any of those venues out for the information. Yep. So kind of wrapping things up here a little bit too, over 35 years, maybe what are some of your favorite memories or events, Carla?
I think with the themes, it's been really fun each year to, how are you going to participate in this one or not? The Renaissance theme was real popular. Remember, we did a Renaissance dinner and just had lots of fun with that theme. Ballooning up north and making lefse was fun. It's just, it always gives us something different to do. In the 35 years, I have never had cabin fever.
Yeah, well, the themes make it fun too, because you get to get silly and goofy and have fun while you're doing it, so that's pretty fun. Cindy, how about you? What are some memories or favorite memories you've had?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on Carla here. Definitely the themes. The themes, I think, really make it. From, Sweet 16 on the 16th year, doing a prom theme, that was pretty humorous. The sesquicentennial year was very, very fun. The Three-Ring Circus in 2003. And our 25th year was the Silver Screen, where we did a movie theme. And I think the standout of that year was our movie premiere with all of the people dressing up as movie characters, especially the smooshboard team that did the Titanic.
Yeah.
And that was like, I remember when they walked onto the field, it was just really awesome to see somebody go above and beyond on the theme. That's
Melanie Berg and her friend Erin Rabideau and two other friends. These ladies have won the smooshboard event like 7 or 8 years in a row now. They're fabulous athletes, number one, but what's even better than that is their costumes. So that year I remember I was able to dress up. I had a Hulk outfit from the Incredible Hulk, so that was fun. Well, my favorite thing about the Hot Air Affair, honestly, is when you go to the launch. I don't think there's anything more spectacular than a bright sunny morning with the sun coming up after a fresh dusting of snow, and seeing these balloons in the bright colors inflating and ascending up in the air, and you'll see 25 or 30 balloons. And it's just fantastic to look at the kids' faces. And the joy with kids and mom and dad and grandparents and everything else that attend. I think it's been a fabulous community event. I don't think those of us that have worked on Hot Air Affair over the years ever would have thought we'd have made 35 years, but when you consider the fact that we might reach 15,000 people for the weekend over 35 years, that's a lot of people that have been able to experience Hot Air Affair. So I think that's just spectacular. So any other last memories from either of you?
I think the year with the dinosaur balloon, it was a little foggy that day. And I was on the frontage road on the opposite side of the freeway. And you could just see this dinosaur head above all of the other buildings in the mist. And
Yeah.
it was just really, really fun.
The custom shapes over
Yeah.
the years have been great, from the tennis shoe to
Planter
the
peanut.
rubber
Brioche,
ducky.
rubber
Oh
ducky.
gosh, we've had the Green Goblin. Do you remember the Green
Yes,
Goblin was
yes.
famous too? People would see that on the interstate, and it's one of the most filmed balloons just because it's so unusual. So. Well, it's terrific having you here today. Carla, thank you very much. Cindy, thanks for coming in and talking. It's all the time we have today. We want to make sure that you are able to join us in every way possible for the 35th Annual Hot Air Affair. Again, coming on February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And that'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're looking forward to having you join us. Thanks for being with us. Have a great day.